Good morning, everyone. I know it might be a little early, but it's time for, Take Home Tuesday. No, we just thought we are never at a specific time of the day because you never know what's going to happen, and we might as well get the day started off to a great creative start on our Take Home Tuesday. Today's project is going to be a little bit different. Of course, we say it every week. We're about all things creative. We do short projects, we do longer. This one is kind of giving you a different idea maybe, or maybe you'll share a different idea of how to use a panel. I just got to show you. We have this most adorable panel. But when I look at this panel, sometimes I wonder, oh gosh, I don't know what to do with it. Do you ever have that problem? You get a little confused, like, oh my goodness, what should I do, or how can I use this? Well, let's talk about some different ideas that we can do. I'll lay that down there, Heidi, so then it's out of the way, okay? Idea number one that we have, make it into a pillow. I'm going to show you a little bit more of these. So this one, we just took a block, and I'll show you a little bit more, and made it into a pillow. The best part of this pillow, though, I got to tell you, is this cuddle size. Now, if you've been quilting or doing anything, you might have this is just scrap cuddle. It's just scrap cuddle that was left on something I trimmed off, but I could still use it. Maybe you have scrap cuddle laying around. You could make a front and a back out of your cuddle and cuddle it away. Anyway, an idea for that. So let's talk about a way to make a pillow. This one happens to be a square. So what I have over here is I've taken a panel and I've already cut it down into some pieces. So this one I left along together. Again, I could make this simply, leave it like this, sew a backing onto it. I could quilt it or not and just use it as a little clip, hang it on a little, those little cute display hangers. Cute, cute, cute if you're using this sort of a theme, like in a baby's room maybe. Oh, so cute. So I could leave two together. I could leave something like that. I could fold it in half this way and make it into something different. But let's talk about trimming our pieces down. So on this cute little guy, I just have trimmed his pieces down. Now on this particular panel, in between the focal points, if you will, or the pieces of it, is approximately 1.5 inches. So 3/4 would be halfway in between. So when I was cutting these blocks, that's all I did was I went through, let's see if I find one, and just did this one's not all the way done on that side, but just went along my edge at 3/4 inch to trim it apart. From there, on this one, I just added a couple extra strips to make the size of my pillow. Now this one happens to be, I believe it's 15 by 15. I just added a couple. I could have added one strip and just sewn it around. You could add more. I thought of this later. Wouldn't it have been cute if I was doing it for baby's theme, that I could embroider the name on the side of it or something like that before I started. Okay, that's how I did this one, and then did our backing, which I'll walk through with you. A couple other ideas then. Maybe you have, this just happens to be a piece of board, excuse me, that we had laying at our house. Not sure what we were going to make with it, but I could take my panel, of course, and wrap it around something. And now I would make it into a cute little hanging on the wall. Starting to see some different ideas here. I would actually add, and Heidi, I forgot I was going to grab some batting to show. I would add batting behind it just to give it a little bit of a poof, but I forgot to grab it to bring it up. So I could put it on there. Same thing on a canvas. I would put a layer batting, kind of figure out where I want. Oh my gosh, isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Then I could just come back here and do my tucks, wrap around. Okay, I'm wrapping a present. That one's not so nice. Use my staple gun and end up with a very nice, quick, easy decoration. Now, it wouldn't just have to be this panel that you could use. It could be all sorts of other things. It could even be plain fabric. Now, if you visit Hen and Chicks Studio, we talked about this too. In our bathroom, make sure you visit it. We have some fabric that's been quilted in frames. So the same thing with this. I wouldn't even have to quilt it. That frame, it looks like we bought on clearance for $1.19 because the price tag is still on it. Same thing. So different ways that we can use panel or even fabric. Doesn't have to be a panel. One thing you do want to remember though, if you are using fabric, we do not want to put the glass back in, okay? So same thing here, I could determine kind of where I want my little guy to be. I could put the inside of it. Right now I'm just quickly using this outside. I would layer some batting in there with it. Maybe I'd quilt it before I put it in the frame. I'd size it after I figured out where I wanted it. I'd mark him. But look at that. Isn't that cute? Just that quick. Of course, I would be using, so does that make sense? Am I explaining it well? I would kind of determine after I laid this out where I would want it, cut it down so then I could use this backing. So I might need another extra piece of cardboard. A lot of times they have them, that extra piece in here, but they didn't on this frame. But how cute. Quick and easy. So even if you had this panel in your quilt that you were doing for the baby's room, and you bought an extra one, then you could have your decor quickly to match, right? I think he needs a name. This one's cute. Okay, so let's get back to pillow idea. Of course, you could cut these pieces and put it in a pattern. Let's get back to, where's my pillow pieces? Let's see. Oh dear, did I lose them? Okay, wait, we might have a timeout here because I don't know where I just put them. Okay, well, Heidi, talk for a second.
I will talk to him. I will show them this adorable little plush animal that uses Cuddle. If you participated in our online class a week ago, they showed different animals that you could make with the Cuddles and the Luxe fabrics, and this is a cute little elephant. I thought one trick that she gave that was great was that if you are going to make a stuffed animal from Cuddle or Luxe, enlarge the pattern by 120 to 120% so that you have plenty of room for the extra thickness and the Cuddle and the thickness and the weight of the Cuddle. All right, okay. Jamie's back.
We're
with
back.
her.
It just fell out when I was walking up here. Okay, so a lot of times on these panels, they have these really cute little extra things on the side. Several of them have them. A lot of times they don't get used when you're cutting them down. Well, I really wanted to use that. So I have another pillow that I'm starting here. On this one, I simply cut, as I showed you before, out my square with the 3/4 of an inch all the way around, so there's a little bit of pink. Okay, but I came back then and trimmed down. I'm going to move down, Heidi, so you got it. I trimmed the same way because I wanted to use that cute side. I went 1/4 inch on either side of this strip. And you may not be able to see it, but there is a faint line here. This is a very, very light background. And I just did 1/4 inch all the way down on either side of that and simply came back and added it to this. I needed it to be 12 by 16. Guess what? When I did that, it ended up being 12 by 16. Super simple. For this backing then, still using the Cuddle, but I wanted to show you a couple ideas with the Cuddle. When we are making a back for a pillow that has the envelope style, so that opens here, on this one I did do I rolled it twice and stitched it. Okay, so there's no raw edge showing. Of course, with Cuddle, it can be a little tricky. That didn't bother me to do that. It just took a little bit of time. If I didn't want to worry about that, I have a different idea. So the same thing with this, I needed to have my envelope backing large enough. I think I do about 4 inches larger, 4 to 5 inches larger, so I have a nice overlap here. On this one, do you see how I added the extra strip? So instead of rolling my Cuddle, I took my extra strip of fabric laid it down, and I'm going to use a pin for our purposes, and did my 1/4 inch seam along here. I'm going to do it like I'm sewing it so we can kind of start to get that. Okay, kind of. So we're going to use a few pins. Now the purpose to this is, one, I like that it gives a little bit of extra color, or brings some fabric from the front to the back or something like that. But if you have a hard time working with the cuddle because it does roll, this is an easy way to do it because I'm not having to worry about turning the cuddle at all. So after I've stitched my 1/4 inch all along here, then I'm going to fold it. If you want to press it, you can press it and bring it to the right side and then stitch it down. So now I've covered that cuddle without having to worry about rolling the cuddle. Does that make sense? Is that easy to follow? And so on this one, I've already done that. And you can see I did a double, like a hem stitch on it, just because it made it a little bit prettier. Okay, so to make my pillow, remember, we just, whatever, could be fabric, it could be a plain piece of fabric, it could be scrap pieces, it could be strips of fabric, just to the size of whatever pillow form you're using. The envelope, approximately a total of 4 inches longer, split in the middle. Then I'm putting my right sides together. Remember, I've already stitched that, you just can't see it. Use your imagination. Then I'm going to stitch all the way around my pillow, turn it inside out, and put my pillow form in. Cute, right? Great way to use up, again, some scraps, or if you are doing a themed bedroom, particularly for, on this case, we would be working maybe on an infant or a toddler, child bedroom. Great way to grab some of those extra pieces you might have left over and create the whole theme from the wall to the pillow, maybe sitting in the chair. And won't these two, well, I'll get it done. I'll finish this, but won't these two look really cute just sitting together on the bed or something like that? And I promise you, well, I'll tell you a secret. I took my son's pillow off of this one that was made out of cuddle to put this one on. They love this at any age. So great projects for Take Home Tuesday as always. A little bit different today. We kind of went back into some sewing and thinking creatively, but how can you use, or what ideas do you have to use a panel in a different way? Do you have something different that we haven't thought of, or that you'd be willing to share, or maybe even a picture of something you've done? We look forward to hearing from you. As always, we hope that you remember to be creative and choose happy.